It is Tuesday, September 10th, October 10th, 2023, and I'm doing a little something different today. I'm at the cemetery here, and as a trustee of the cemetery, we've decided that we need to identify some of these very old graves. We're not sure exactly how people are buried. You can see how everything's not in perfect alignment, and there's some stones that are missing. This cemetery was founded in 1850, so a lot of the graves aren't clearly marked. So before we sell any more graves, we got to make sure there's nobody buried in the spot. So ground penetrating radar system that we rented, and I am checking for spots that we think are uninhabited and that are available for sale. So I'm going to be pushing this along the ground. It uses microwave radiation that goes out the bottom. This is the antenna. This is a battery. Here's the brains, and I'll just fire this up here quick. This is a chart of the cemetery. This is one corner, the northeast corner, and I'm going to be you can see the spots that are empty. The X's show where people have bought or purchased their plots, and the blank spots are what we think are available. So I'm going to be scanning each one of the available ones to see if they truly are available. And this is pretty cool. You basically go into, I'm going to do a line scan, which means I'm just going to do a straight scan over the top of each where we think the graves are. And you can do a grid scan where you can get a 3D model of the ground underneath, but we'll just do a line scan. And I'm going to head down and get started, and I'll show you. So all the stones here are facing east, and what we have found by scanning here, we found that all the burials are on the east side of the stones. So if I look down here, I can see there's a stone. Just beyond the stone, right here, is where the burial is. And so I want to confirm that. I'm going to scan across the back of all these stones and see what we detect. Okay, so I'm going to press start, and we're going to start pushing, and you'll see on the right side where it's starting to populate, and that's undisturbed soil. You can see there, it's pretty clear. There's really nothing under there. A few rocks maybe, but as I come up top here, we should see, there it is. You can see it coming in right now. Right here, that is a casket underneath there, and you start to see patterns. You can see up at the top here where the soil's been disturbed, and there's an object under there. Continuing on, you can see another object there. See on the top right. Some of these are pretty shallow. This is very rocky terrain, so you can imagine the hand digging that went on up here in the 1800s. So that's it. There shouldn't be any more here. Now you can see basically undisturbed earth as I go across graves that are or plots that are available. So you can see here where they are, and I can zoom in. That's a 6-foot range. I can go to 8 feet. I can go to 10 feet, and now you can see where these graves are, and where we are now, there's really nothing. It looks like something right here. What's interesting now is I can actually back up, and you can see how there's a line here that shows again where we are. I think those are just rocks, but it sure looks like the ground was disturbed above it. Maybe not. And then, once I get to a spot here where there's a grave, I can press this asterisk key and put a flag right there. And here's another one. I'm going to put a flag there. Come on. And I'm going to put a flag here. Oops. Let's put a flag here. You can see the flags down at the bottom. And then one more here. That's it. Now I can go to my chart over here. I can see that that's these 4 right here, and they are occupied. Day 2 at the cemetery here today. It's a beautiful day, 70 degrees, sunny, low humidity. Couldn't ask for a better day. So I'm here again with our rented ground penetrating radar system. It's working quite well. I will say that it's a little bit difficult to interpret the data. There's a lot of rocks in this area, very rocky, a lot of glacial till, and it can really confuse things. But I'm able to see where the ground has been disturbed on some of the older graves. If there is a vault or a fairly recent burial, I can see it pretty clearly. But if it is an older grave, I've got to look very carefully to see a little bit of difference in the detail of the soil to see that it was once disturbed. So I did today bring my metal detector with me because I did find a couple of shallow objects that are either rocks or they could be something of value. So I would not metal detect in a cemetery, but because I'm managing this cemetery and have a little bit more control over what happens here, I can do a little metal detect. Well, I just finished up my ground penetrating radar project here at the cemetery, and 2 days with the unit, and I must say it was a little bit of a challenge. This is what I ended up with. The blue spots are where I've determined there is no body or no burial. The red is questionable. So I've actually freed up quite a few spots that we know we can use. For the most part, we knew those were available, but we weren't positive they were empty. So now we can feel a little better about giving permission to dig. And that means the cemetery can be funded much better. We can, without burials, it's hard to pay for the upkeep. And there's certainly plenty of business. People are dying to get in here. So, sorry about that. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and a little different. I did use my metal detector a little bit, but it was just junk.